Well, hi there guys, welcome to another episode of On the Bank Angling. Today you join me on the Bristol Avon where I'm going to be fishing, just going to be moving around with jigs and small lures. I'm going to be targeting perch and pike. So it's a really cold day, as you can see from the frost on the bank. The river's been in flood and it's just dropped off away again, so perfect conditions apart from the cold weather. So let's see if we can get a fish on the bank. The setup I'm using, just a little tiny light rod and a little jig. Obviously I'll keep changing the jigs throughout the day. I'll give you a bit more detail on them a bit later on in the video. But yeah, let's see what we can catch. A really fun method. I'm only just getting into it myself, so I'm only just sort of learning. But yeah, let's see if we can get 2016 off to a bang. Cheers guys. Well guys, here we go. First fish of the day, and it's not a pike or a perch, it's a chub, and it's been absolutely nailed on my little jig. Get that, it's absolutely nailed it. It's not a bad fish either. Really nice chub that for the Bristol Avon. I'll give him away in a minute and I'll give you a closer look at him, but that's amazing. That on a jig just shows all fish will go for him. So yeah, let's get this fish weighed and I'll show it to you. Oh, here she is guys, the first fish of the session, first fish of the year for me, on a session where I meant to be catching perch and pike. It's a chub, and she weighed in at £4 12 ounces, so that's a fantastic fish to catch from the Bristol Avon. Really happy with that on that tiny little rod as well. I mean, I'll show you more what I'm doing in a minute, but that's proper buzzing. That really nice fight and a cracking fish. Just couldn't resist that little jig. There we go. Fantastic. Look at the gob on that. Look at the gut on that. Fantastic stuff. And hope got a whole day to catch some more. I was going to go targeting chub later, but maybe I'll just stick with the jigs. If we could get a nice £3 perch, that would really top this off, wouldn't it? Fantastic start on a frost covered bank early January. Cheers. Oh, God, it's been a while. Tried so many swims, I haven't really had much success in this one. Full of snags, and I've had a perch, but it's a tiny one. Nailed on the little jig again, but only a small one that time. It's still great fun on this little rod to catch perch like that, but yeah, they still hit your little tiny jigs. So there we go. It's hope to get a bit of a bigger one than that. They're generally a shoalfish perch, they attack in numbers, so hopefully now I've found one, there'll be a few more in this swim. I had a hit first cast, that was even smaller than this, but it came off, so yeah, let's put him back and see if we can get another. guys, another perch on the jig. Absolutely full of perch this one. Well, here you go, guys. Further proof that the jigs are working. Got the third species of the day. It's a little jack pike. There you go. Lovely little fish. Fight hard on that little rod, crazy. I expect it's probably about £3, £3.5. But yeah, wanted that little jig. All the perch sort of stopped feeding, and I was like, I'd only had 3 or 4, and I thought something's going on. Then I had a hit from a bigger fish. Oh, he's kicking off, come on girl or boy rather. So yeah, then I had a hit from a bigger fish, and I thought maybe there's a big perch there, and then I thought, well, as soon as I hit this I thought, no, it's not a perch. But yeah, there you go, little jack pike. No reason why you still can't catch fish in really cold, frosty conditions. Just get out, be active, and yeah, you can have some good fun, especially on little light rods. So there we go, sweet. Let's put him back and see if we can get another. Well guys, I think it's pretty fair to say I'm going to be doing a lot more jig fishing in the future. Got another absolutely clonking great chub here. Just ridiculous. It's got to be bigger than the first one. Just absolutely insane, and the hits you get on these little tiny little lures, just insane. And you just get such good hook holds. I thought this has got to be a pike. As soon as it took it, I thought it's got to be a pike. But I'll just show you the fish first before I weigh it. But it's a proper donkey, absolute donkey of a chub. Look at that. Absolute beast. And on the Bristol Avon, where I don't really expect to catch loads of big chub, this one's actually covered in leeches, so he's probably been lying up. That lure's just, it looks a little bit like a worm, to be honest. I'll show you it in a minute. And yeah, it's just come out and nailed it straight away, so fantastic. We'll weigh this one, and yeah, see you in a minute. Well, here we go, guys. I was right, it is bigger, but it's still not that 5-pounder. 4 pound, 14 ounces of Bristol Avon chub, caught on a little lure. And there's me. I've been spending days walking around, lobbing in bits of bread and cheese paste and trying to catch these bigger ones. I mean, they don't grow massive in the Bristol Avon. I've had 5-pounders out of here before, but they're hard to come by. These fish are still amazing to catch, so, but that's amazing to catch 2 in the same day on a little jig rod. I'm well happy with that. They're obviously aggressively feeding at the moment, so yeah, let's hope. We've got probably about an hour left. I really want to see if I can catch that big perch. Well guys, I've had 2 perch and 2 casts just down here, right against this tree and against the bank, just not even casting out, just lowering it in and just jigging it up and down. So let's see how we get on. Now I've told you, you probably won't get anything, but let's see. Right guys, so the action's slowed down a bit, so I thought I'd just take this moment to show you sort of how I fish with the jigs. And it's going to be hard to do with the camera in one hand, but here it goes. Basically, all you're trying to do is trying to get the jig to sort of rise and fall in the water. If you can see that jig down there, just sort of rising and falling, and you do that by just flicking your rod tip up and down. So even when you're retrieving, what you want to do is you want to flick up a couple of times, then reel up the slack, flick up a couple of times, reel in the slack. Just keep doing that and work the swim, and you'll get some amazing hits on these little jigs just by doing that. And in that swim just around the corner, I'm getting bites just literally lower it in the margin just doing that. I'm picking up small perch. I did actually lose a better perch in this swim just a minute ago, which is why I'm still here, but it's nearly time to go. So there you go. It's easy to do, easy to take. All you got to do is go buy yourself a few little rubber jigs, the ones with the jig heads. I'll show you the ones I use. They're from Savage Gear. And yeah, you just go and give it a go, and then you can have your jig dancing around like that in the water. This one's got a yellow head and red body. The red bodied ones I've had all my fish on today, so yeah. I'll zoom in on this one a bit further so you can see how they work in the water. Right guys, so that's how they work in the water. As you can see, they just sort of bounce and gyrate around. Hard to keep the camera steady and do this at the same time, keep it in front of it. But yeah, that's how they're moving all the time when you're reeling them across the bottom.